Hello, everyone. This is an unannounced visit for you all. I'm just relaxing here at home, trying a new clothes for my party this weekend. And since I'm already kind of dolled up, so hey, why not killing two birds with one stone, right? So here I am talking to you. Maybe we can just talk about everything and anything that comes into your mind. But before we start, ladies, I would just like to announce that this weekend will be full moon. That is May 18th, Saturday. On the 19th, that is actually Wesak. Wesak is the Buddhist holiday in which Buddhists worldwide celebrate the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing of the historical Buddha, which is Buddha Gautama. So when I picked up the date for May 18, I didn't realize that that would coincide with Wesak. So I'm very excited actually because full moon has been very influential to my uh, to the expansions of my consciousness. My awakening, my first one, actually happened on a full moon on June 13, 2014. That was, yeah, almost 5 years ago. So if you can, and you happen to be in the neighborhood, if you live in California, somewhere in San Diego or Riverside, Orange County, Los Angeles, hey, why don't you come over to my party? Okay, I will post the link later. But let's just talk. Hi, Daniel and Sue. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining in. So, full moon uh, in my home in the castle is like spectacular. You would wanna be in this home during full moon because it's just so surreal and so beautiful. I kid you not. I took a few pictures before during full moon, and that is just like so outstanding, so beautiful. So if you're not doing anything, anyone close to my area in San Diego, you should come to the party so we can talk about man, love, relationship, and life in general, and how to live a grand life like I do, with your feet remaining firm in the ground. That is pretty much the essence of everything that I ever teach you. So, if you cannot come to the party, I mean, don't get discouraged because a month later, on the 27th throughout the 30th or July the 1st, you're gonna fly in on the 27th, and you're gonna fly back into wherever you're from on the 1st of July for my 3 full day retreat. Okay, my retreat has been very transformational. Other than transformational, it's also fun because we get to hang out with like-minded people, share our experiences, our knowledge about everything, right? And then you get to basically get my coaching face to face in the comfort of this surrounding, this beauty, or in my living room. And because this time it's just the beginning of the summer, it's not gonna be very hot. The last, the first two times that we did the retreat, it has been like almost like the hottest days during the summer, which makes us kind of stuck inside because outside will be too hot. So this time, because it's only the end of June, hopefully we can conduct most of our classes outside. Because right now, for example, it's not cold, it's not hot, it's just right. It's just like the kind of weather just I just love to hang outdoor every day. So I can't wait for the summer. I can't wait for our events. So ladies who haven't registered for the retreat, please sign up, and I will also post the OP later, right? So you can sign up with $400 off. And remember that $400 will no longer be available after May 18, after Saturday. So I open $400 off until May 18, and after that, uh, could be full price or $300 off or $200 off. I cannot say because I'm typically a spontaneous kind of person, ladies. So I don't plan much in my life. My life is just kind of like flowing, you know, um, like this. I don't plan my life to be like this. I don't plan my life to end up living here in the mountains. Um, I don't live my life with a lot of planning whatsoever, but it's been it's been working quite well. So I would like to share all of those in the retreat as well as the party. So each one of the events you can sign up uh, for. And also I have retreat in Bali. I want to remind you that will be November, and my retreat in Ireland there that will be in September. So just come to one of the many events this year that we are having. If you would like to see me, if you would like to get, like face-to-face coaching or consultation of your life issues, whatever that is, I can help you. Because, you know, whatever knowledge that I have is not just for dating or relationship. The kind of knowledge that I have, that I teach every day, works in every situation in your life. Whether or not you want to improve your career, you can study what I teach. If you want to have a thriving business, you can also apply what I teach. If you want to have just an easy life, easy meaning that uh, because you change from the inside. Easy doesn't mean that you won't face troubles, you won't face people who are difficult. Easy because your mindset has changed. You have transformed from the inside out. So whatever you perceive will be just direct perception. It's no longer stained by the stories of the I, or the cloud of the I story. What is that? The I story. You might wonder, what are you talking about? I don't get most of the things you say. I don't blame you if you don't get what the things that I say. But bottom line is this, ladies. Most of us see the world through the mind broadcasts. What is the mind broadcasting every day? Or not just every day, but almost like every second, every minute of your waking life. What is your mind broadcasting? Do you know? Most of you can even answer that kind of question because you cannot separate yourself from your mind or from your thoughts, right? Most of you are not capable of doing it. And I don't blame you, because if you talk to me or somebody talks to me about what I talk to you now about like 20 or 30 years ago, I have no clue what that person is talking about. Yeah, so most of us don't realize that when we perceive the world, there is always running commentary in our heads. And most of our running commentary consists of what? Judgment, right? It's always about judgment. And what does judgment say actually? Judgment consists of, lots of it is of the I stories, right? Your likes and dislikes, what you believe, who you are, what you think the world should be, right? What you think um, your weaknesses are, your strength are, and how you relate to other people, to the world. That is the entire story of the mind. And most of you are not gonna realize that your mind is broadcasting that sort of story. Do you realize? You don't. You don't. Because it's something that is so embedded in us, we are no longer conscious of it. So we see the world with running commentary in the head. And the problem is, we totally believe in whatever is being broadcasted in our head. We think that is how the world is, even though we are just thinking. But the tendency of the vast majority of population is to believe everything that comes to their mind. They believe everything they think about. That is the problem, right? This is why a lot of you react like disproportionately to a lot of things you perceive in the world, to the slights that you perceive that other people are doing, to the slight you perceive that your guy or guys or partners or EUM are doing, right? Because you are not capable of seeing things like naked, barely, from direct perception that is not stained or contaminated by your belief and thoughts and thinking about all and sundry, about everything under the sun. So you live life with so many opinions. You carry opinions around wherever you go, and you think your opinions are fact. You think your opinions are reality out there, and often your opinions clash with reality, with what is. And this is why you're struggling so much in your life, either in your love life, your work life, or just your life in general, because you cannot distinguish reality and what you think reality should be. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you start studying under me, you begin to cultivate more self-awareness, more in touch with what's going on inside your field of awareness or your consciousness. This is how you become a uh, more functional human being. You become um, more more emotionally intelligent. Okay, this is why my advice on relationship works like no other in the world. And mind you, like as I always say, with every live class, whenever I come back, there will always be engagement news. The last time I was counting, we already up to probably 24 or 25 engagements. Now 2 weeks later, we have been number 28. So we have had 28 engagements this year already. That is well 6 engagements a month. It's still going strong. The last week alone, we have 3 engagements. So there is no one else in the business has this kind of record. And I have to keep saying it because it's the truth. It's not just I'm bragging. I wouldn't be able to brag if I have nothing to back it up with. And it's not in my nature to brag out of thin air like that. And I like to be influential, but I want my influence to be real, not something that out of thin air that I just make up to sell courses and programs. I don't do that. I'm a very, in a way, I'm a shy marketer, and I only say what I know to be true. So if I have it, flaunt it. And it's the same with you too. If you have it, you should flaunt it. Rather than lying about it, you should flaunt what you have, right? So, and so for the ladies who just got engaged, oh my goodness, let's open a bottle of champagne in my home, maybe one of these days, maybe someday in the future, and we can just drink together. Let me drink this. So I'm so excited. Like every time I turn my computer on, I got messages from you ladies saying, "Oh, I just got engaged," or "My claimed me," right? And whatever it is, it doesn't have to be always related to man, relationship, or marriage, because you can be married, you can be happy and single too. And I am a proponent of all kinds of happiness. If you're happy single, by all means, ladies, don't compare yourself with other people. If you're happy just living together with your man, go ahead, just live together. You don't need a certificate to legalize your commitment with each other. Like, for example, I'm not legally married, but spiritually, emotionally, we are married. And right now, we don't see a point of having this paper yet. Maybe one day, who knows, right? I don't discount that, or neither. I don't think Joey does either, but I really don't care if he thinks that we don't need marriage. We just take it one day at a time. But the thing is, we know that we are pretty much stuck, not in a sinister way. We are stuck with each other. We're stuck with each other because our relationship works. That's what I mean. We're stuck because he told me the other day, "I don't think I can imagine loving somebody else." That's what he said. Wow, that sounds like sad, right? That he can imagine loving somebody else. But it's actually just a declaration or a proclamation that our relationship really works. It's very functional. Whatever I'm lacking in, he compensates it, and vice versa. Wherever he's lacking in, I complement it. That is what true functional great relationship is all about. It's about complementing each other. So some of you think great relationships is about the sex, about the humping. If the sex is great every day, for the rest of your life, then you have a great marriage or relationship. No, I mean, it's great if you can maintain your sex life 5, 10, 15, 20 years into your marriage or your relationship. But for most relationship, the sexual aspect of it kind of takes a back seat after a few years, because it's just not possible to always like hump like rabbits, year in, year out. Some couples actually probably do, and hey, more power to you. Maybe you can teach us how you do that, humping every day for 20 years. But for most of us, the sex juice is just like being like out squirted, sort of like drained of the fruit after a few years, right? Doesn't mean that is the end of a relationship either. It just means that your relationship has evolved into something more fundamental, something more substantial, which is emotional and spiritual connection, right? So emotional and spiritual relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't get discouraged if you find that your relationship is great, but it's no longer about romance, no longer about physical intimacy. Intimacy in a long-term relationship can now be interpreted in so many different ways. For example, like we can be intimate, close physically without penetration, for example, without having sex, without even getting naked. But we are very close to each other. Before Freckles come into the picture, yeah, I blame it on Freckles because she's the third wheel. Before Freckles came into the picture 2 years ago, the way Joey and I sleep every night is that's Freckles. The way Joey and I will be just like cuddling and snuggling, rubbing each other throughout the night. And it's not sexual at all, but every time we did that, because now always Freckles in the middle. Every time we did that, I felt that sort of like amazing closeness with him, that amazing sense of security, coming, oozing through our connection, deep bond and connection. Yeah, not, and didn't entail any, any like liquid exchange, bodily fluid exchange that didn't entail any nudity at all. It's just we were sleeping in our PJs and we cuddling with each other. We had our feet rubbing each other's, you know. So, and it feels so intimate. It feels so great because when your relationship evolves from the physical intimacy, from the craziness of sexual chemistry, it will evolve into a deeper sense of belonging with each other. So even when you don't have sex all that much anymore, you're still feeling connected to each other. You're still feeling that she's or he is the love of my life because we live this life together. We have each other's back, right? And um, we just love being each other. It works. So that is the true hallmark of a successful, functional relationship or marriage, ladies. So do not think that relationship is just a vehicle for you to have like crazy sex every time. You know, in fact, I can tell you now, if you want to have just a lot of sex, you have more when you're single, when you're just casually dating. Once you're in a relationship, it's just gonna be like, in that aspect, yeah, the same person, every day. Unless, of course, you have an open relationship or you have an arrangement in your relationship, which I don't judge. If that works for you, that's great. But Joy and I have never done that. Though we are talking about it, we know we are not that type of person. We're not that type of people because we are so lazy. We are homebodies. Most of the time we are at home. So it's not our cup of tea, even though, yeah, he does like to fantasize about it. But we have never done it. Neither we so motivated to really like make it happen. But if some of you or many of you are doing that to sort of bring spice, to spice up your relationship, hey, by all means, I have no judgment about it. Um, Everyone's different. Every relationship is different. So, ladies, if you have any questions, you can ask on the comment section, all right? And, of course, please like or love or share it with other people so, you can help also other people find me because through just finding me and tuning in my free classes, my free stuff, they get to change a lot of things that are not working in their life. So you contribute something to humanity. So why not, right? So go back to my fan subscriptions. What are you gonna get with the fan subscriptions? It's only like $99 a month. I know for some of you that's a lot of money. I truly know it, understand it. But compared to what is available out there, for example, some random coaches have what they call inner circle or VIP membership, whatever, or group coaching that lasts between 6 to a year, and you have to put money down like 2,000, 3,000 US dollars, and then still have to pay 500, $600 a month. I don't know if they're these people really, get people pay that much of money. Maybe they do, right? They do, um, because probably they're good salespeople. Who knows? But I personally uh, don't like doing that because every time I try to sort of like have something like too ambitious like that in terms of pricing, it just takes a lot of me to persuade people to get into it, and I'm not very good with hustling. You know me, right? Those of you who have been following me for years, I never hustle. I never chase your tail. Like, come on, buy, buy, buy. When are you gonna sign up? I might follow it up once or twice, but if you don't seem very interested in it, I let it go, because I believe, there are thousands of other women who actually need that program more than you do that I can focus on. That is why I don't hustle, because literally, with one says no, there are like at least 10 or 100 new people who will say yes because they need it. So I'd rather sell something to people who actually need it instead of trying to sort of like arm twist them, making them commit to something they doubt they need it. Only later on they either cancel or they don't commit, they stop halfway. That's just, it doesn't, it's, to me, doing this work is mostly because I love it. It's mostly because it's a hobby. If I have to sort of put all my energy trying to sell a $5 worth of program and spending so many hours trying to persuade people to get into my high price programs, then I'm not going to enjoy it. Most of my time will be just spent on persuading people. Why would I want to live my life that way? Even though you probably you make a lot of money in the end, but the kind of investment I have to put in there is just not worth it in the end. It creates the burnout, right? And the reason why I can accomplish so much and reach so many of you is because I avoid the burnouts. I just do what feels easy and natural to me, moment to moment. So, if other coaches, some of them are even newbies, we don't know their records. Oh yeah, they claim, they can move mountains. They do, of course, claim that. They come up with fake numbers of engagement, for example. Some of them, not all, but some of them, and I know they lie about it. And actually, I have proof they lie about it. So, um, and they think they could charge this kind of money. Like, what justification do you have? Like, I understand all this saying that you have to think big, all this law of attractions, whatever you believe in, you're correct. So if if you think you can make a few $1,000s, a month, you can also make a few $1,000,000 a month, whatever it is that is being propagated out there, right? You hear it a lot from so many coaches. Oh yeah, you can manifest this, manifest that. So and then they come up with these ridiculous coaching packages that are not commensurate with their stature, experience, results, and gravity and substance in the industry, in the business. So, hey, if it works for them, I guess, I have to admit that that's their strength. Maybe there's something I can learn from them, but I don't believe that. But I'm always open to admit that when I'm wrong, though. So maybe it works for them, but for me, I want to reach out to as many as you. I want to change the world. My mission is not just to make a few $100,000 and start over again, churning from the very beginning, making myself work so hard to attain that goal. It's not worth it for me. My mission, first and foremost, is to get my work out there to reach as many women as possible, because what I teach heals the planet. I have no doubt about it. What I teach heals the planet. I'm a healed person. So how do I know that my stuff works? Because it works for me. I live in a very beautiful place. Not just that, not just the money. When I say, all these financial accomplishments, it's just one aspect of success. But I also wake up happy. Every day I wake up happy, welcoming what the world has, what life has in store for me. So if you just know how to wake up happy and go to bed happy every single day, you already belong to the 1% of most successful people in the world. You can write it down. It's not how much money you have. It's about waking up happy every day, excited about the world, excited about your life, excited about new discoveries, of finding out what you have in store every day. That's what makes you successful. That's what makes you the top 1% of most successful people in the world. And I teach all that and I want to reach as many of you as possible. So with $99 a month, you get a lot of interaction like this at least once a week, right? And I will also involve my coaches like Trisha, Tasha, Tasha, and Dacia, right? The three of them will take turn with me talking to you every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendar, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is your Satsang. Satsang day. You know what Satsang is? Satsang is like soul nourishment. Like this is a place we share between a teacher and her students, you know, um, just sharing the teachings, what I teach to you, and of course I learn also from you. And if you have any questions, and I will discuss it in a way that you can understand, that will help you out of any predicament that you have, either work, relationship, love, man, or just life in general. Okay, if you have a problem with your best friend, if you have a problem with your boss, you can also bring it during satsang to discuss it with me. So this is going to be just a place for us, you know, to brainstorm, to discuss face to face like this. In my other monthly membership, you don't get to see me because most of the time I am in my PJs and I look like shit. I don't always doll up every day. Most of the time I'm just like operating in my PJs. So that's why I don't like my face to be seen during one-on-one or like monthly membership class, for example, because I don't look very presentable, So I'm a woman. I still want to look good when I appear in public. I don't want to look like, like a cat lady sort of thing. So that's why today I dressed up a little bit. I put on my makeup a little bit. I said, yeah, I don't want to waste this. So I'm here talking to you now, thanks to that. So in the fan subscriptions, you get to see me like this, either here or inside in my kitchen or my living room, or during my daily hangout in the garage, in the man cave with Joey. Could be one of those, but it's going to be very intimate. And you get access to me direct, okay? Even that my monthly membership, the $87 a month, doesn't have that. It's only one class a month. This is like once a week, 4 classes a month. Not to mention daily interaction for members, in the form of posts, right? So I might post something that just exclusive for you as a member, and you can ask questions, what it means, for example, right? Or you can also ask questions, and we will respond during certain like office hours every day. So there is so many benefits that is just so reasonably priced, so unrivaled, so incomparable with whatever is available right here, right now, out there. Nobody else charges you $100 a month flat for all the benefits that we are giving you right now. And not only that, for the first month sign up, you get to have 20% discount of all my programs as well. So that including the individual classes, 20%, or the individual classes, you know, you can also get with 5 class specials, which is already more than 20%. But if you want to get it like one by one, I will also give you 20%. This will cost you, it will save you so much, so many $100s or thousands of dollars in terms of my products and programs as a member. Not to mention that direct access to me every day. Right now we have 2 groups, right? One group is secret and the other is free. The free group is now close to 14,000, like 13,300 something. By the end of the month, probably will be close to 14,000, because we have about like 50 or 60 new members every other day. So it is very fast. And of course, I cannot cater to every one of you. There are like 150 to 170 posts every day from all of you. So if I see something that needs correction, I will say something. But a lot of times, I will not know what advice is being given unless somebody tags me. And even if I am being tagged, I can always respond to a view. Not everyone get my response, because it's just too many of posts and too many of you, too many taggings, right? So everything's limited. And as the policy goes with all my groups, that we don't really have heavy moderation for a purpose. We don't moderate like that because we want you to be aware of your own emotional reaction when you read posts, when you read comments from other people, for example. Check within yourself why you are so angered, why you are so bothered by other people's opinions or comments of you, for example. In a heavily moderated feminine groups that other random coaches have, those groups are either dead, right? Or there is nothing happening with those groups in terms of transformation. Yeah, they will learn on the intellectual level everything the coaches teach about feminine energy, but to embody it, you you have to realize it. And a lot of these coaches themselves, they are very neurotic. I have to be honest about it with you. They haven't done their own share of the work, so how can they teach you that? It's all just almost like uh, a pretense. Oh, I pretend. I coach you. I can teach you feminine energy, this and that. But then they shame and guilt trip you to buy into their programs. That is not feminine energy. I don't do that. And then they arm twist you, right? That is very masculine. So they know feminine energies and everything that they come out from their mouth on the mind level, on the intellectual level. Everyone can do that. And just recently, I was being told by someone, so and so, took or copied or stole your content word per word and put it in their ebook, which also uses feminine magnetism as the title, which is my trademark, right? Feminine magnetism. I studied it. When I studied the feminine magnetism thing, there was nothing online on Google. If you Google feminine magnetism, there was nobody coming up with substantial content of feminine magnetism. I studied the whole thing. Now all of a sudden there are a lot, or I don't know if a lot, some of newcomers uses the word, latches onto that brand, feminine magnetism. Not only that, they steal also my content word per word. And only recently that person was being outed as a fraud. What did she do? She lied about being married. And she shame and guilt trip her fans, her audience, that if they're not married, this is something wrong with them. What the hell? You see, that is just so weird, these people. Like, and they think they can teach all this just through intellectual knowledge. So you read a few things from what I probably write, right, in my blog, and then copy it. And all of a sudden you're an expert. No, it doesn't work that way. And so many people copy my stuff, to be honest with you. Former clients, for example, they just like repackage my stuff. They had probably, success already through following my coaching, that now they're engaged to their EUM. So instead of thank you, they repackage my teachings. So yeah, they have some understanding because they prove it within themselves that now their relationship thrive thanks to my coaching, right? But when they have to teach all these things, like day in, day out, sooner or later, you just kind of figure out that they're running out of gas very quickly, because all the knowledge, all the repackaging just coming from the very shallow mind level. It doesn't come from the core of their being. It doesn't come from their heart. If you compare that to me, for example, the entire content of my consciousness is really the content of my teachings, the content of my business. So I never run out of ideas of what to teach, never, because I breathe my work. It is who I am at the very core. So whatever is coming out, even right now, for example, it's because I'm a walking content. Do you understand? It's not coming from the mind. The mind is very shallow. It's coming from the entirety of my beingness. Come from the core, from the heart. And not everyone, not many coaches are on that level of transformation or personal growth or consciousness to be able to teach you day in, day out, and inspire you day in, day out about things that will improve their lives. It's not as simple, all right? So for these new coaches, they claim this and that, and even though what they say is pretty standard, right? I'm not saying everything I say is original either, but at least I can imbue it with my own personal experience, number one, and also imbue it from the level of realm, from the level of existence that is typically not accessible to the vast majority of people. What do I mean by that? From the level of that is beyond the mind. Okay, that is not not something that just all of a sudden comes to any of these coaches. Okay, that comes from awakening, pretty much. That's what awakening is, being awakened to the reality of the mind or the ego. And it cannot be studied intellectually like that, because the intellect, again, is going to be very dualistic. It's going to be very contradictory. Okay, so talking about price, my $99 a month definitely, you know cannot be rivaled. And talking about knowledge, impact, gravity, stature, I don't think anybody has the kind of record I produce either. Like 6 engagement a month, that's a lot. And consistently, year to year, I can tell you that is not something that any coach, any relationship coach can can achieve like that. So, and I didn't know either I had that power until all these testimonials. I didn't ask. I never told you, can you please write, not not like in a way that I need your help because I need your testimonials for my business or something like that. Majority just come to me and write me and tell me themselves what has been happening in their life, because what I teach has been really life changing to them. And I did not know that either when I first ventured into the business. So I didn't venture into the business with ambitions like a lot of these new coaches. They are so ambitious. They are so masculinely ambitious. I did it just because, hey, I think I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I didn't have any goal or any long-term plan that I would be staying in the business and making substantial amount of financial success through it. But 6 years, I think 5 years later, I live in this place, and then it was so completely unexpected. You see, that is what happened when you go through life with just an open mind. Okay, and what I've learned also this year, you know oh, stop sticking. I've learned just the wisdom of just you're already on the right path. Just stop worrying about whether or not you're doing things right. You are doing great. Just trust. Trust in the unfolding of uh, of the universe. You know, I've been following a lot of like people's recommendations about, for example, how to scale a business because I'm curious, right? I want to learn about that sort of thing. Even though all my success, all my like loyal following, my base, it has been organic. I barely, put a lot of efforts in trying to sort of get everyone to follow me, for example, right? I just did what I like doing, and if people like it, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. So that's sort of like very easygoing, very detached approach to my business, right? But since I've come to that place in which that uh, if you're in the business, you will understand that you will be very tempted with the idea of growing your business further, right? Of scaling. Not that I'm against scaling now, still, but I've learned so much just through the experience this year that you are already on the right path. Stop following people's recommendations about what you need to do. These people don't necessarily have it the way that they promote it either. Believe me, they don't. But since if they're business coaches, they need to sell their coaching, of course, right? Of course, they're gonna talk about the great things about their programs, about their methods, but they certainly don't talk a lot about the downside, the failures, the setbacks of scaling their business, for example, right? So I've learned the hard way that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, ladies. When you're doing good, right? You've seen it yourself, your business growing steadily, even though probably slowly, right? Organically. It shows it works. You cannot hurry the process. Like you cannot hurry love, right? The same thing, you cannot hurry your EUM to commit to you, to be emotionally ready to you. It's the same way with business. You cannot hurry up success, whatever in your mind success is. And when you see the grass is greener, oh, look at those people. They make 7 figures a year or a month. What you don't know is, of course, they don't tell you. I've come to this 7 figure a year or a month with so many sacrifices. They don't talk about it. What are the sacrifices? Could be, you know, they have to go through a lot of losses, for example. Could be that their profit is just not even like 1/10 of what they invest, right? They say, let's say, they might say, oh, my sales like $2 million this year. But what do people don't understand? What is the profit of that $2 million? If you make $2 million worth of sales, but your cost is like 1.950 million dollars, how much profit do you make? It's 50,000. That's what they're not telling you, and that is why it's so misleading. Now I figure it out by myself, but only by doing it, through trial and error. I begin to wise up. Oh, all these whatever uh, bombastic statements that these people make, they're not like supported by the clear reality, the clear picture, because they omit certain data or information. So that is what something that you need to understand, right? So the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So what I've learned from it is just relax. You've been so relaxed in your approach of your business and it's been working so well. But because you compare yourself to other people, right? You see, you also going to compare. You compare yourself to other women, to other people's relationships, and because of that, you feel less than. You feel that you are lacking in something, and you start nagging your It's the same thing, the same process. That is how the mind works. Always comparing, 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 right? And because of comparison, we what suffer. We suffer thanks to comparison. So don't compare yourself to other people and be grateful for what you have. I'm so grateful for what I have. Yeah, even though I said I want to scale, and I know it's happening, right? It's happening in its own time, though. This is something that you also have to learn. You cannot hurry up the process. The process will unfold and unravel in its own time. Okay? Like you cannot hurry the the winter to come or the summer to come. They come when they come. It's the same with every aspect of life. So there is no need for you to worry about anything. Of course, you can do something about it. You can, put your work, try a new strategy, right? But at the end of the day, whatever needs to happen, what is part of the process, it will unravel organically. And there's nothing you can do to change that. That is part of the wisdom that I teach you. That will bring you so much inner peace in whatever endeavor endeavor that you carry out in your life. Could be love, relationship, marriage, career, business, whatever it is. My stuff works 100% of the time. Okay? Because when the perceiving gadget has totally transformed, what is the perceiving gadget? Your consciousness. You as the observer, you as the witness. When you no longer operate from the egoic mode of consciousness, very restrictive mode of consciousness that centers around the I and its stories. That's what it means by your perceiving gadget, which is your consciousness. Then whatever you will have a harmonious relationship with the world, however the world is, because you become that fountain of wisdom. That is what real knowledge is. It's nothing to do with intellect. Okay, it's nothing to do with the all the knowledge you have accumulated all your lives. Nothing to do with it. And in fact, a lot of knowledges that you have accumulated all your lives, they if they often act as a barrier or a hindrance to direct seeing, to realization. This is why when you have so many opinions, so many ideas about things, I cannot teach you anything. Because you're already believing, you're attached to the ideas of a lot of things, and I cannot pour in new knowledge, new information, because your mind is already overflowing with this knowledge, borrowed knowledge, inherited knowledge that just your clutter your awareness, your consciousness. So you have to empty your cup when you come to me, because when you still believe in this idea, that idea, not going to be receptive to whatever I have to say, and as the result, nothing is going to ever change about you because you're already resisting it. Okay? So that's why I don't encourage you, to come to me or to buy my stuff unless you already surrendered to the process of the teaching process, the process of the dissemination of my teachings. So you have surrendered that that I'm your teacher and you are my student at this particular moment, and you want to go through with the process. So if you don't you haven't come to that place yet, you're gonna give me so many headaches. You want a refund and you want this and you are telling me how to coach you. I no longer work with women like that. If they're going to resist me and telling me what to do, how to coach them, I just tell them, just go somewhere else. Find somebody else, please. You know, I'm here just for those who are ready for the ultimate message. I am the last resort. And again, it's not a brag. I am the last resort because what I teach you is not going to be about how to fix man. What I'm teaching you is the highest truth about what you need to know about yourself, about your own mind, about how your mind works to create your reality and create your perception. That is the highest truth. Not many people understand. All right? Not many people understand, I can tell you that. So that's why I have these events. This Wesak, Saturday, May 18. That's Wesak night. Come to my home and we talk about enlightenment. We talk about this. What is enlightenment is all about. Maybe because of the powerful uh, full moon, that is a natural, a powerful natural phenomenon, full moon, right? You'll be cracked open and be able to receive the message even better. Because that's what happened to me. The awakening happened on the full moon. It happened to the Buddha. His awakening happened in the full moon. It happened to many other people too. Their enlightenment or their awakening to the nature of the ego self-mind happens during full moon. It's a recorded phenomenon, in fact. Well, I experienced it myself, so I can only tell what I have experienced. Whether or not the two are related, but I can tell you, some other full moons after that, I experienced a lot of revelations too, a lot of awakenings after that. At least some, not a lot, but some very fundamental ones. Okay, that helped me further to um, help you, basically. So don't miss my retreat, um, 27th of June throughout July the 1st at my home in San Diego, and November, I think September 9 throughout 12 to 12 in Ireland in a castle, and November 6 to 10 in Bali, and we will also have a retreat next February, Valentine's week, in Cabo for a week in our resort, because we have signed up with this resort in Cabo that we can use their property at least once a year, could be twice, for our retreats all over Mexico, in fact, not just Cabo. And Mexico is so beautiful. Cabo is so otherworldly. I love it. So stay tuned. Any questions, ladies? Please ask question. So this is from Jacqueline. Yep, most of the time it has nothing to do with us. We try to make it that way. Yes, whatever you're commenting, that's right. I agree, Jacqueline. And from Jacqueline as well, ha ha ha. Once my guy said, it isn't always about sex. Sometimes you just want to cuddle. That's right. That's right. You know, sex is overrated in a long-term relationship because it's the same pizza every day. It's only, sex is only exciting when it's like new people every so often, right? Or you are still in that period of getting to know each other. That is very exciting. But other than that, like everything, it becomes a whole hum. So this is from Luisa. In one video, you mentioned we women are like the oasis to men. How do we do that? In general, most men aren't comfortable talking about their feelings and such, but I realize they do and can really open up a lot with some women. Yeah, you know why they open up a lot to some women? Because the women listen more and opening their mouth. That's what I mean by oasis. Oasis is holding space for your man, not just jumping the gun and stepping on his toes and uh, coming up all with all these accusations about what he's done wrong to you, right? That is what makes you um, like unsafe to them, unsafe in a way that they don't want to talk to you, open up, express their feelings and emotion because you are so judgmental. So when you talk less, you listen more, and you lean back in your energy, right? And stop talking so much, and stop confronting him so much about what he's done wrong, about your feelings. Then yeah, you will become an oasis. Oasis is that feminine energy, that that cauldron of calmness. So be that woman who just brings calm into a man's life, and he will not be able to um, to lose you. He can't afford to lose you, because women like that are so rare. A lot of women are so busybodies, like they're such busybodies. They want to make sure things are being done, and then they don't just stop reminding them. They also busting busting these guys' balls. They emasculate them a lot of times. Okay, so that's what oasis is. Again, it's feminine energy, and feminine energy is something you have to embody as well, right? Like, I give you an example. Coaches who teach feminine energy, but they force you into signing up into their programs. That is kind of contradictory, right? Because a lot of people just know things intellectually. Oh, feminine energy meaning you just don't do anything. You lean back, but they don't really embody it. Even when they say they embody it, they really don't, right? Because it takes a lot of inner work to come to that place of full acceptance. Because when you are in your feminine, you don't have that much drive to really, for example, fight or defend yourself. Your tendency always just to let go. But from time to time, of course, I do defend myself. I stand up. Doesn't mean that you're gonna lose all your masculine energy. Doesn't mean that you're gonna lose all your edges. I still have edges, as you well know. But it will show up rarer and rarer as you embody, the feminine. Okay, Luisa? This is from Samantha. I love how honest and transparent you are. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Samantha. You know, ladies, I just feel that I owe it to you to be always honest and transparent, because I never market myself other than myself moment to moment. I never pretend to be somebody I'm not. I never exaggerated, my accomplishments, even tell white lies. Maybe once in a blue moon I will say things like a little exaggeration. But in general, I don't have to do it, because especially now after seeing results of my work, of my hard work, it will kind of cheapen what I have accomplished if I lie about things. So I don't feel the need to lie about anything anymore. Yeah, but what I'm saying, not like crazy lies like, oh, my engagement has been like 5,000 when I only have, for example, 234 so far that I know of. Maybe I can do that, but I wouldn't feel proud of doing that. What I'm saying, I cannot own it. So wherever I am, have been in my journey, I'm always proud of myself, and I'm always like embracing myself wherever I am in my journey. So when my engagement was still 5, for example, I will proudly tell you, oh, I had 5 engagements. Never in my mind I thought, wow, I'm gonna just jack it up to 250, because some coaches do. I don't do that. because then I wouldn't be proud of myself. Why would I lie about it? So it's not because I think I should do this, I should do that. It's just like coming from my own consciousness, my own awareness. That's what I find comfortable within myself. So that is what being true to yourself and embracing wherever you are in your journey moment to moment. That is what self-acceptance is. And you can start practicing yourself. Wherever you are in your life, embrace it. Be proud of it. You are now not in a relationship, you're single, and sometimes you're lonely, right? It's okay. And embrace it. Be proud that I'm single and lonely sometimes. But I'm okay. We all go through loneliness every now and then. If Joey is not in my life, if Freckles is not my life and living here, of course I'm gonna be lonely. But you can do something about it. You don't always have to succumb to your loneliness, for example. And if you are with an EUM who hasn't claimed you after 2 years, for example, embrace it. Be proud of it. It's part of the journey. But doesn't mean that you cannot change it either, right? First, accept that you are in love with an EUM and you've been overinvested in an EUM. Okay? So, through acceptance, solutions arise, possibilities arise. Now, if you already acknowledge that, you know, I'm overinvested, this is why my EUM remain an EUM, because I'm so much more interested in a relationship with him than he is in a relationship with me. That puts you in a one down position. And when you are in a one down position, you're going to lose all your power in man, or in most situations. When you are in a position that wanting something so bad, it's going to put you in that precarious sort of lose-lose situation, pretty much. So don't do that. Now you know, you embrace wherever you are, you can change it. Or if you are happily or unhappily married or in a long-term relationship, also embrace it. Always embrace it first. Be okay with it first. Be one with reality first. Do you understand? Stop resisting. Stop fighting. That is number one. Does that answer your question or your statement, or Samantha? So anyone else have any questions, ladies? No questions? Well, if there is no more questions, I would like to invite you again. It's only $99 a month. You get to see me like this every week. If not me, then will be Tricia, Tasha, or Daisha, right? And they're going to answer your questions. My coaches are fantastic too. They have gone through so much in their love life. So they know, they understand me, they get me, they know how to guide you. Okay, and we have the most results in the industry. I have no doubt about it. But you don't have to take my whatever I say at a face value. You can research it yourself. Look around, okay? You can ask questions to people who have been my clients, and there are so many of them in the group, all right? So I'm very researchable. I'm easy to research. But of course, there are a lot of people bad-mouthing me outside too, which I welcome. Please badmouth me some more. At this point of my career, the more you badmouth me, the more promotion I get. So please badmouth me. It's a free promotion. Every publicity is a good publicity at this point in my career. So I like it when people start writing crazy testimonials about how crazy, how psychotic, how narcissistic Karina is. I love that. Please write some more of it. doesn't affect me. I will not respond to that, because why? I know who I am. I know what kind of of life I have, what kind of relationship I have. So whatever people think of me that is so over the top, it's just a reflection of their unresolved issues of them. Because they're going to project whatever imbalances they have. As a centered person, I'm going to trigger so many people from all directions, not just this side, but also this side. I'm right here in the middle, and a lot of times I don't endorse this side or I or that side, right? Because I'm going to be always taking into accounts all sides. I'm going to always be like right there in the center, in the middle. Sometimes I'm gonna lean this way or lean that way to restore balance in what I perceive as imbalance in society or in my clients or in my base, in my fans, my audience, whatever you want to call it. Because I feel that is my role as a teacher. So yeah, a lot of times I got a lot of flags from people who are triggered by my position of not endorsing their belief system or their dogma. But it's okay. It's part of the package, part of the territory of what I do for a living. I'm okay. So if you see bad testimonials about my character out there, I mean, uh, you can of course help rebuting it for me, but I wouldn't do it myself. And as I said, at this point, every publicity is good publicity, so I welcome it all. Okay, ladies, no more question. In that case, then I will see you on the other side, meaning inside the fan subscriptions, and we will have a lot of face-to-face interactions like this, and we will reveal all your issues. We will help solve any issue you have regarding man, love, relationship, job, relationship with your parents, your best friends, your friends, your kids, or anyone, ever. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening, everyone, and good night. Bye bye.